Now we will check in the patient. We will make a simple consultation. Okay. The provider also have his screen. The screen is presented like this with encounters. So it's a kind of a record of all the patient, all the Sunu patient that has been seen, that has been received in that clinic or pharmacy or whatever kind of service this provider offer. And we also have a place for filters. You can filter by name or on a period or on the bill type. Okay. Now we'll add an encounter. After clicking on add an encounter, we will add the patient name. You can add the patient name or his insurance card number. Adding the insurance card number is more precise than entering the name because you can have some countries where we have many people that have the same name. So we'll add, we can type the card number. Okay, so here we have it. Or we could have typed the name, but the card number is more precise. So here we have the general detail, general information, patient detail, insurance details. Here the account status is active. It's very important for you as provider to know whether the account, the the policy of this patient is active or not. The patient verification is is an important part on this process. The patient verification can be done by facial recognition. By just clicking here, it will activate the webcam of your computer and make a match with what the webcam will capture and the photo. Here we do not have a photo, so it won't be useful to use that way. So we will do a manual verification by clicking on I attest that I have verified the identity of the patient. For the explanation, you are supposed to write why you were not able to use the biometric verification, and also add your name, the name of the physician that is about to receive our patient. Okay, let us suppose that he is called Dr. Mambo, or simply not to offend anyone, XYZ, and click on attest. So three step. Check the box, put the name, and click on attest. Three steps. After patient verification, we have the visit details. For the visit details, three mandatory fields. All the mandatory fields are annexed with a red cross. So we will select the category, whether it's a consultation, hospitalization, maternity, or pharmacy. Consultation, sensitivity. Was it in a normal way or in an emergency? We choose normal. Expected day, expected length of stay in days. By default for a consultation it's 1. If it was an hospitalization, you would have put the number of expected, the number of day expected. So depending on the organization of the workflow in the current workflow in the clinic, vitals can be entered at this level before the patient be introduced to the physician. Okay, so I will just put the blood pressure. I can put also temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate, weight, height, and the BMI will be automatically calculated. So vitals. On this screen, we suppose that the patient is not yet in front of the physician, or even if he's already in front of him. If there is an act that require prior auth, you check the box and submit directly the prior auth requirement to Sunu by just clicking on the act and clicking submit. If you check a box, the button next change into submit. Okay, so I won't check anything and go directly to next. So here the patient is about to, I can say, is about to meet the doctor. So we click on edit the care sheet. On this page you have the various part of a medical record, the chief complaint, the vital history, exam, lab, summary, conclusion, etc., etc. You can add, you can type them all if you want to do it. But for every part, if you are typing something, it's important for you to click on the pink plus that you have in the corner. For this, for the information you've just typed to be record in the patient record. It's very important. If not, it will only stay. It will be a simple data you've just typed, and after leaving that page, it won't be saved. You will see here that vitals is already checked because we have entered them before, just before. Remember the blood pressure, okay? If it was not done there, we could have been able to do it at this level, okay? And percent 70, the height in centimeters, and you see the BMI is automatically calculated. The history, okay? So there is the past of the patient, the past, the medical record, the medical formal information about the patient, the risk, social risk, cardiovascular risk, the family. And what particularly concerned that visit, so the exam, the observation. If all is normal, you can check all normal, or you're not even obliged to check something. Okay, you can let it that way. Or if there are particular information you would like to put in somewhere, for example, in the abdominal examination or in the skin review, you can type it too. Okay. Now we won't prescribe labs. We will do it in another video. The final diagnosis, it's the mandatory field of this page. Sorry for not having the red cross, but it's the mandatory field on this page. Let me put, for example, diabetes. Okay. Start date, and I will click on the plus button, okay, to save the data in the patient record. So we have finally diagnosis that is checked. That means the information has been saved. If you see at the level of problems, you will see all the previous diagnosis that has been made to that patient, okay, and their dates. So diabetes, 1st April, uh, zoonotic bacterial disease on the 8th of April. So you have a full record, okay, of the patient's problems. For the treatment, in fact, there is a way to prescribe directly drugs in the software. I won't make that presentation here. Here, let us suppose that the the prescription will be done on a paper, okay, in the normal way. You can only type some few details here. For example, if you has prescribed to your patient metformin, you can just put it here to have it as a record after if you want to see what you have prescribed to that patient. And do not forget to hit the plus button. Okay, so treatment is checked. The two last steps important for you to be able to bill or send a claim to Sunu. You must check the box curve sheet details completed. If you are sure you have completed the curve sheet, check the box and click on confirm to confirm that your curve sheet details are completed, and you click on save. Before clicking on save, let me just make this comment on this: confidential. By default, all the medical records are confidential. But if you want other people, whether in your clinic or other specialists, other physicians, to be able to have access to the care sheet you've just filled, you can uncheck this on no. So by default, it's confidential. We just click on save now to finish our visit. So now we've made a visit. We've made a visit, and without prescribing any lab test.